Welcome to the Past in Pictures channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. The impact of nuclear tests in the 1950s is shown in black and white photos of a damaged mannequin 7,000 feet from a detonation in Nevada, reflecting the climate of experimentation and concern surrounding this technology. These experiments fueled debates about safety and military power. The Hilo tsunami of 1946 showed the major impacts giant waves can cause when they reach coastal communities. An important record in the history of natural events, the disaster reinforced the need for prevention efforts and early warnings to protect residents of coastal areas. During World War II, a Dutch woman chose to accompany her husband, a German soldier, into Allied capture in Walcheren, showing the emotional impact and complexity of personal loyalties during conflict, highlighting the hard choices civilians faced in turbulent times. The construction of the Berlin Wall in 1961 divided the city and symbolized the Cold War, solidifying the separation between the Federal Republic of Germany and the German Democratic Republic. This landmark reinforced Europe's ideological and political division, influencing decades of history and lives. The presence of an Allied soldier resting on the bed that belonged to Hermann Göring symbolizes the shift in power after World War II, when the Allies began controlling spaces connected to the former German leadership. This 1945 photograph highlights the end of a historical phase marked by the German regime. The capture shows a surrendered soldier in 1941 in a rural setting of flat land and sparse vegetation, reflecting the opening phase of the global conflict. This moment reinforces the intense struggle for global dominance, influencing the course of history and the military strategies of the time. A young officer and his wife wait in a car near the San Diego Pier in 1950 as the husband prepares to leave for a mission in Korea. This moment reflects the growing involvement of the United States in the Korean War, which had begun that same year. During a naval patrol in 1943, the United States submarine Trigger operated near Japan, reflecting the crucial role of American naval forces in World War II. The capture of Mount Fuji symbolizes the military presence and war effort in the Pacific region. The celebration ceremony for the American pilot, connected to major aerial actions in the Battle of the Philippine Sea on June 19, 1944, marks an important moment in World War II when United States naval forces expanded their strategic presence in the Pacific. Military aircraft production in the United States gained momentum during World War II, with factories such as the one in El Segundo, California, contributing to the war effort. In 1943, the assembly of SBD Dauntless combat aircraft reflected technological advances essential to victory. Belgian soldiers from 1915, wearing heavy clothing and carrying period weapons, represent the country's role in World War I, which began in 1914. This war brought deep political and social changes, driving shifts across Europe and the world. The meeting between Winston Churchill, Franklin D. Roosevelt, and Joseph Stalin at the Tehran Conference was crucial for defining strategies against the Axis, strengthening alliances during World War II. This unity improved the coordination of military operations and laid the foundations for the post-war period. During the 1930s, the rise of Zeppelins marked an era of commercial ambition and prestige, with special attention on the Hindenburg, whose 1937 episode became a symbol of the end of this technology's peak. In the image, a mechanic checks an engine during flight in 1936, reflecting the period of greatest investment in this form of transportation. Resistance against opulence appeared in the post-war era when social differences expanded debates in urban settings. In 1947, a high fashion model had her outfit damaged by spectators during a display of luxury, reflecting the mood of social protest and cultural change in that era. In the 1960s, young people in New York faced social and legal challenges, such as the case of a 21-year-old man detained on suspicion of robbery in 1961, although the charges were later dropped. This period marked a time of social and cultural transformation in the United States. A man in period clothing with an old car celebrating divorce beside a sign announcing liberation reflects the cultural shift of the 1930s, when divorce was gaining wider acceptance, although it still faced social resistance, marking a step forward for individual freedom. In the early 1980s, young Barack Obama appears beside his father, who left the family to attend Harvard and returned only once. This period marks his development before his political path, reflecting the impact of an international education on the formation of leaders. Explorers dining inside the tomb of Ramesses XI show the fascination with ancient Egypt that grew in the 1920s after the 1922 discovery in the Valley of the Kings, which revealed pharaonic tombs and pushed archaeology forward, showing the link between discoveries and popular culture. During the 1920s, trainers like George Carcello showed advances in the relationship between humans and animals by training jungle tigers, such as Duke, for unusual activities like playing the saxophone. These experiences reflected an interest in entertainment and the development of trained animals in the jazz era. In the early 20th century, patient transportation evolved with the use of horse-drawn ambulances, an important innovation in healthcare. The presence of professionals such as Dr. Elizabeth Broyne in old vehicles reflects advances in urban medical assistance improved over time. The presence of a police officer directing traffic while 4 duck eggs cross a bridge points to a time when classic automobiles and urban nature often shared the same space, reflecting a phase of urbanization that valued balance between old vehicles and quieter public areas. In 1940, Hollywood, the premiere of Rebecca, became a milestone in suspense cinema, highlighting Joan Fontaine and Judith Anderson. The film strengthened the studio's reputation, influenced future productions, and marked a golden period in American filmmaking. Charlie Chaplin, an admirer of the 20th century, appears dressed in period clothing as Napoleon at a 1926 party. This scene reveals the role of silent film in culture, influencing figures and historical events while highlighting the humor and creativity of Hollywood's golden age. In 1950s Paris, Audrey Hepburn trained for the film Funny Face with choreographer Lucien Legrand, standing out for her elegant style and graceful posture. This period marked the golden age of cinema and fashion, influencing future generations and strengthening the French capital as a cultural center. The presence of Marilyn Monroe playing soccer in 1957 at Ebbets Field shows the popularity of the sport at the time and reveals the impact of pop culture in the 1950s. This moment shows how Hollywood icons took part in sporting activities, promoting cultural integration and the spread of soccer in the United States. Cher's arrival on the stage of the 46th Academy Awards, held at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion in Los Angeles in 1974, marked a standout moment in the celebrity culture of the time. This award ceremony, central to film history, recognizes cinematic achievements every year, boosting careers and influencing fashion and culture. Dolly Parton, Jane Fonda, and Lily Tomlin appear in shiny clothing, pastel colors, long dresses with full skirts, and curled hairstyles in the production of 9 to 5. The scene reflects the typical look of the late 1970s and early 1980s, marking an era of feminism and progress in women's work. The scene records a gathering of influential music figures, such as David Bowie and Lou Reed, in a setting with vintage 1970s decor and objects on the table. The moment celebrates the artistic connection that pushed musical innovation forward, reinforcing the impact of that decade on contemporary culture. The scene shows Paul McCartney and Mick Jagger together on a train during a trip through Welsh territory in 1967, a moment that highlights the relationship between iconic music figures in the 1960s. This period marked the rise of British rock, which influenced future generations. The Christmas celebration at the White House in 1962 reflected a mood of hope during John F. Kennedy's administration, marked by civil rights progress in the Cold War. The photo shows the presidential family with traditional decorations, symbolizing unity and optimism in challenging times. Building on the 1960 presidential campaign, a young John F. Kennedy visits rural areas in West Virginia, expressing his commitment to voters far from urban centers. This strategy helped expand his support base and marked an important moment in the history of American elections. Brigitte Bardot, a 1950s icon, appears on the beach wearing a floral bikini with period-style hair and a sky with light clouds. This image points to the 1953 Cannes Film Festival appearance, an event that strengthened the actress's fame and marked the international rise of European cinema. In the 1950s, beauty pageants such as Miss Sweden, won by Anita Ekberg in 1950, opened doors for her career in international cinema. Ekberg stood out for her charm and elegance, becoming an icon of Hollywood and European cinema while influencing the fashion and beauty standards of the time. At the height of the 20th century, an actress dressed in shine, lace, and heavy jewelry represents the glamour of a time when historical films were a symbol of sophistication. This reality shaped the development of cinema, raising production standards and securing stars like Olivia de Havilland in cultural memory. During the 1960s, a famous actress stood out for her vibrant and bold style, reflecting the fashion and culture of the time. Her striking presence influenced trends and helped define an era of change in celebrity aesthetics, securing her place in the history of cinema and glamour. Natalie Wood stood out by encouraging Robert Redford to act alongside her, helping launch his appearance in a major production in the 1960s. The outdoor scene, with period clothing and soft lighting, reflects a transitional moment in cinema, when talents were beginning to be introduced by major names. The presence of an African-American dancer on 1950s stages reveals the impact of the civil rights movement on popular culture during a time of strong social barriers. Her performances reflected the search for expression, artistic freedom, and recognition in a changing cultural landscape. During World War II, the Hollywood Canteen served as a support space for soldiers, promoting entertainment and solidarity. In this setting, radio was a crucial tool for spreading messages of hope, connecting Hollywood to the troops, and strengthening patriotic spirit. The opening of Grauman's Chinese Theater marked a crucial moment in film history, strengthening the careers of stars and promoting major productions. With its striking style, the theater became a symbol of Hollywood, influencing movie theaters worldwide and launching pioneering publicity campaigns. In the world of classic cinema, the work of figures like Hitchcock behind the cameras marked an era of innovation in film storytelling during the 1940s. This decade was crucial for the development of visual and narrative styles that still influence the art of cinema today. Modernist artists explored light painting in the 1940s, and this 1949 record shows how Joan Mealy captured figures with neon light, reflecting the search for new forms of expression. This technique influenced experimentation in the contemporary art scene. In the 1970s, technological progress led to the rise of accessible home computers, such as a 10-megabyte model sold for about $6,000 in 1977, reflecting the rapid growth of the market and the effort to make computing more popular, even though it was still a luxury at the time. In Sokolniki Park in Moscow, people observed televisions and old radios at a technology exhibition reflecting the advances of the Soviet period. This display highlighted the growth of the electronics industry in the Soviet Union, encouraging modernization and national pride during the Cold War era. In the 1920s in the United States, a woman demonstrates an early dishwasher with a glass and metal design and visible components, reflecting the technological innovation of the time. These inventions transformed household chores, bringing more convenience to families. In the 1950s, Tupperware parties promoted socializing and kitchen innovation, reflecting the rise of household consumption and women's empowerment. Events in Sarasota, Florida, marked this movement, with women in traditional clothing of the time seated in circles. Manual labor in the Hershey's chocolate industry shows the phase of industrial expansion in the 1930s, when production began to intensify with modern packaging machines, reflecting technological progress and improved efficiency, while still keeping a strong handmade aspect in the wrapping of each unit. The photograph of a young indigenous woman from the Kiowa tribe, dated 1894, reveals traditional clothing and the texture of a past era, showing the indigenous presence in Oklahoma. This image highlights the strong cultural bond of these communities and marks an important moment in the history of Native peoples, whose resilience remained despite American expansion. In the Saudi Arabian desert in 1948, a Bedouin woman with her son represents traditional life before modernization. This period marked the beginning of social and economic changes in the region, such as the discovery of oil, which would deeply transform the country's culture and structure. In Cairo in 1870, a woman displays traditional clothing along with pearl necklaces, reflecting the fashion of the time in Egyptian culture. This sepia-toned photograph reveals the look of old images and shows the importance of jewelry in local society, influencing cultural representation. People cross a rope bridge at a temple on a hill in China in the early 20th century. This simple structure reflects the challenges of traditional construction during a time of limited materials, showing old cultural resilience in the face of local conditions. The use of the decorative kokoshnik by a person in profile shows the Russian tradition of the early 20th century, marked by elaborate clothing and distinctive hairstyles that reflected the local culture. This era witnessed the preservation of traditional customs amid the country's social and political changes. In the 1950s, the black and white photograph captures an Aboriginal boy with messy hair, wearing simple clothing beside his kangaroo in an outdoor setting in Australia. This period marks the global recognition of Indigenous cultural diversity, reinforcing the importance of preserving traditions and ties to nature. In the late 19th century, vocal groups such as Fletcher Sutherland and his 7 daughters gained attention by combining musical talent with period fashion, known for long hair and elaborate hairstyles. This phase marked the growth of family entertainment and the trade in hair care products. Professionals in Tehran, France, dedicated to sharpening blades for professional use, wear coverings to protect their eyes and mouths while working with visible tools in a workshop lit by natural light, reflecting traditional practices from the early 20th century. In Deadwood in 1888, residents wore period clothing with hats and decorations, while simple vehicles and wooden buildings formed the setting. English signs and streetlights reflected a growing town shaped by the beginning of the gold boom in the region. In the 1850s, Greyfriars in Edinburgh reflected the Victorian era with ornate monuments and classical sculptures, showing society's connection to religious traditions and family memory. The sepia-toned photograph preserves this historic atmosphere. An abandoned house in St. John the Baptist Parish, Louisiana, reveals classic architecture with columns and a multi-sloped roof, dated to 1835. The black and white photograph captures the deterioration of a place from an era marked by economic growth and agricultural crisis in the region. In the years before motor vehicles became popular, workers with period clothing and hand tools carried out excavations at the Paluxy River in Texas. This activity, marked by footprints and traditional techniques, highlighted the importance of human effort in fossil research before technological progress. With a rugged island setting, an old seaplane docks at an airport on the Hamilton Cove coast in Catalina, recorded in 1931. This period marked the expansion of tourism and air transportation in remote areas, encouraging regional development without modern technology. In the 1990s, the Bronx reflected the vibrant energy of New York, marked by cultural diversity and socioeconomic challenges. This phase was crucial in solidifying artistic movements such as hip-hop, which emerged as expressions of resistance amid rapid urbanization and social change. The front of the restaurant, placed at the top of the former World Trade Center, reflects the dynamism of New York in the 1980s, a time of major economic growth. This structure symbolizes the power of commerce and modern architecture, marking an important moment in the history of the city and its urban icons. The 1970s marked a moment of urban transformation, with rustic and functional architecture in Europe and North America. The clothing and vehicles of that period reflect social and technological advances, influencing daily life in the modern cities we know today. With a mix of old shops, a pharmacy called Cherokee stands out for its medicine and household goods service, while places like Excelsior Laundry and offices reflect the urban growth of the past century. These scenes reveal a phase of commercial and social transformation. Inside a store in Des Moines, young people in stylish 1940s clothing enjoy milkshakes, reflecting the popularity of places that offered entertainment and snacks during that decade. This moment symbolizes the emerging consumer culture and the growth of urban areas in the United States. Dancers adjust their outfits between performances at Ciro's Club in London as the post-war era fuels a cultural revolution. This decade marked the rise of entertainment clubs that boosted the music and theater scene, reflecting the optimism and social transformation of the time. In 1960s Italy, a line of people walking along a stone street reveals everyday life in an old Sicily, where typical architecture and period clothing reflected the local culture. This moment captures the essence of a community preserved over time. In the early 20th century, playgrounds were made up of wooden structures and ropes, reflecting the handmade and natural character of the time. This evolution marks the transition from simple spaces to outdoor gathering places that encouraged children to socialize, shaping childhood leisure. In a rural setting in 1943, children dressed in simple clothing learned to drive small wooden carts without engines, reflecting the lack of motor vehicles and the traditional way of life in East Africa. This practice highlights childhood and the limited technology of that time. The rural North American kitchen shows painted wooden cabinets and utensils on the counter, along with a woman in striped clothing beside a screened window. This setup reflects the functionality and simple style that marked the 1930s, a time of major social change. Before the modern postal system was fully implemented, mail carriers in the United States carried letters in settings that reflected the early 20th century, wearing clothing typical of the 1920s and 1930s. This moment highlights the evolution of postal services and their importance for communication. Inside an old school, a black and white photo shows 3 names written in cursive on a chalkboard, indicating who attended Easter Mass in the 1930s. This moment reflects the importance of religion in school and social life at the time. In the Hollywood setting of the 1920s, a woman changes her hairstyle in a salon, reflecting the search for modernity and glamour at the time. The decade marked the consolidation of silent film and the strengthening of celebrity culture, influencing fashion and beauty trends. As she steps out of a trailer, a woman with clothing and hair typical of the 1960s marks the rise of an expanding television era that changed popular culture. The 1960s represent a period of social and technological change that strengthened the influence of mass entertainment. In the 1970s, the rise of soul and funk led artists such as one singer to gain international attention, strongly influencing fashion and pop culture. Her striking presence and bold style represented a period of musical innovation and artistic expression. In the 1970s, a woman with curly hair and casual clothing rests in a room of her home in Fulham, London, captured in black and white. Her presence reveals everyday life at the time, while natural light illuminates old furniture and plants in the background, reflecting an era of cultural and social change. Styled with waved hair, period makeup, and floral clothing typical of the 1930s, Ginger Rogers appears in a stage scene with show lighting and Christmas decorations. Her style reflects sophisticated fashion and the cultural changes that energized cinema during the 1930s. The woman listens closely to radio waves in 1926, a time when this device was becoming essential for spreading news and culture. The technology had a social impact by connecting families and expanding access to information, marking an important change in communication. In the busy traffic of an old city, police officers controlled horse-drawn vehicles, while period cars and yellow buses moved through streets with clear signs and street markers. This scene reflects the transformation of city transportation in the pre-automobile era, marked by streets with classic architecture. The 1952 experiment reveals studies on population growth and social organization, anticipating debates about living together in limited spaces. Conducted in a laboratory setting with period decor, it highlights scientists' concern about the effects of population growth on society. Celebrating in 1980s period clothing, young people with stylish hairstyles and Christmas lights decorating the space represent a moment of festivity and togetherness, marking a tradition that strengthens family and social bonds. This era was important in reinforcing the spirit of celebration. In the late 1980s, the presence of Christmas lights, ornaments, and stars in the decoration reflects the festive tradition of year-end celebration, which strengthened social and cultural bonds. This period marked the popularization of commercial festivities that still influence behavior and traditions today. The young woman, dressed in formal clothing typical of the 1940s, holds a dog in an outdoor setting with trees, reflecting the elegance and customs of Great Britain at the time. This era was marked by World War II, influencing British fashion and society. Marilyn Monroe appears in an urban scene with string lights, signs, and illuminated storefronts, reflecting the mood of a street decorated in a contemporary style. Her presence reinforces the importance of classic actors who shaped cinema across the decades and influenced recent generations. During a night out at the iconic Studio 54, major artists danced to the sound of a romantic celebration. In this vibrant New York setting, the mix of casual clothing, 1970s style, period hair, and glasses reflected the free and lively spirit of the cultural scene of the time, marked by extravagance and diversity. At the Memphis airport in the 1960s, a young woman with voluminous hair and a classic style poses with her dog Honey, showing the fashion of the time. This image captures the travel and cultural context that marked the period before technological advances changed transportation. For years, the case known as the Beast of Jersey marked the island of Jersey through a series of nighttime incidents that unsettled the local community. His identity remained unknown for more than a decade, becoming one of the region's most discussed police cases. Classic protesters and residents of East Berlin celebrate the fall of the Berlin Wall, a decisive change in Cold War history. German reunification, completed on October 3, 1990, symbolized the end of the division between East and West and opened the way to overcome decades of political and social isolation.